Hamas didn't expect large U.S. involvement amid war with Israel, report.
Here's a summary of the article.
The U.S. response in support of Israel in its war against Hamas caught the Gaza-based Palestinian terrorist group off guard, a Hamas official told the Financial Times. Speaking from his office in Beirut, senior Hamas political leadership member Ali Baraka told the UK news outlet that they didn't expect this much of a response from the US. An Israeli response? Yes, we expected that. But what we're seeing now is the entrance of the US into the battle, and this we didn't count on, he said, according to the Times. These statements come after Washington diverted many of its forces to the area amid Israel's launching of Operation Swords of Iron, the latest war with Hamas. How has the U.S. helped Israel in its war with Hamas? On October 8, just a day after the war began, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced that America would move a carrier strike group, featuring the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, closer to Israel. Days later, it mulled sending a second aircraft carrier to the area, as well as fighter jets being added to the region and munitions being sent to the IDF. Later in the month, the U.S. sent Lieutenant Gen. James Glynn, a three-star Marine general, and other military officers to help Israel plan its ground offensive into the Gaza Strip. Iran, which funds Hamas, has taken notice of the U.S. support for Israel and has threatened that America would be attacked unless the Jewish state stops attacking Gaza.
This post received a score of 7,500, with an upvote ratio of 87%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I would assume the title implies they also expected Arab nations to intervene, because I don't see Hamas getting any success against the IDF.
I don't know if they expected Arab nations' intervention, but they certainly were counting on Hezbollah joining them, and were in active communication with Hezbollah on the day of their initial terrorist strike. They have recently switched from exhorting action from Hezbollah to complaining about the only light skirmishes Hezbollah has been engaging in with Israel. Part of the problem, I think, is Hamas was probably way more successful than they expected in breaking containment and striking out at the civilian population in the south, but that led to worse PR and more pressure from within.
Hezbollah probably would have joined in if the US didn't park 2 carrier strike groups in their front yard.
Yeah, there's 2 things the US is great at: aerial bombardment and shooting down missiles. The Battle of Conoco Fields is a prime example of this, and the war in Ukraine perfectly displays the effectiveness of US Patriot systems.
We're also pretty good at least one other thing, I think.
I mean, we do make some mean barbecue, but that's not really applicable in this situation.
Sadly, a great brisket isn't the answer to world peace equals.
Are we sure? Have we tried it? If we go low and slow enough, we just might have a chance. Gotta risk it for the brisket.
It's a story as old as time. Arab world, look at how Israel and the West treat our Palestinian brothers. It's an evil imperial occupation, and we will stand behind our Palestinian brothers with all the resources and blood we have. Palestinians, help. Arab world, crickets.
Well, they tried it a few times and it didn't end well. I am still convinced. Behind closed door, at least the leaders of Saudi, Emirates, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain and to a degree also Qatar are very unhappy about this situation and Hamas action. At the moment there are only 2 winners, Iran and Russia.
Behind closed doors, I'm sure they want Israel to wipe out Hamas. None of them like Iran, and they're wasting $0 and political capital in this fight.
I think so too. Qatar maybe not. Qatar is not friendly with Emirates and Saudi and much closer to Iran than the West could wish.
Even the fucking cartel wanted no part in that Damascene. They handed over the people allegedly responsible for killing Americans. Did they think leaving the Middle East meant leaving for good? You talk shit to somebody as they're walking away. Now that backhand's gonna have full body momentum coming around.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.